Should I buy or lease my car? That is this week's question. After we answer that, if you can wait till the end of this video, we're going to share a strategy so you will never have a car payment again. Before we dive into the details of this question, I want to point out two things. Never make a financial decision solely based on tax purposes. There is more to your life and your financial economy than focusing on taxes. Also, one thing I see is when people go to buy a car, they do it based on their payment. Well, I can buy a car that's this good, or for the same payment, I could lease a car that is this good. That is terrible financial decisions. That's coming from a mind of scarcity. And if you've been following us, we want to incorporate prosperity economics. And doing it that way is not prosperity economics. So let's dive into the answer. There's many things that are going to go into this answer. One is going to be lease costs, your finance costs, depreciation, the tax impacts, and surprisingly, and this is the most important factor, is how long are you going to keep that car? If you're going to keep that car 2 years or less, it's better to lease it. Depreciation is the biggest cost factor when buying automobiles, and the first 2 years are the largest hit of depreciation. So if you want a new car every 2 years, then I would recommend that you lease it. Now, if you want to replace your car every 3 years, it doesn't matter, it's a wash. The numbers at the end of the day between buying or leasing are going to be very similar. So do whatever you're more comfortable with. Now, if you're like me and replace your cars every 4+ years, it's definitely better to buy it. The best strategy when you're looking at all the numbers is to buy a car and hold it for 10 years. Now, after 10 years, you should consider selling it. And you're probably thinking, well, that's because of the maintenance costs, but there's more to it than that. There's one thing that many people don't take into consideration, and that is the miles per gallon. The car you bought 10 years ago doesn't have the same miles per gallon as it did when you first bought it. Couple that with the advances in technology, the miles per gallon on new cars are much higher than the car that you bought even 10 years ago. So here's a bonus feature. How can you incorporate a strategy where you will never have a car payment again? There's actually two ways. One, I call it the rich uncle, and is it really somebody else buying the car. I do have an uncle, and hopefully Bob and Aunt Gloria are watching this, and if you are rich, I'll give you my address so you can send the car payment to. But if you don't have a rich uncle, we want to start incorporating philosophies from prosperity economics. One of them, my favorite one is control, but that's a whole nother issue. My second favorite principle of prosperity is flow, and that is cash flow. So what the strategy that we'd recommend is you buy an asset that will produce enough income to make the car payment for you. That way, you're not making the car payment. That asset is paying down your loan each month. And at the end of the loan, you have the car free and clear, and you have an asset that is producing income. And then you can have that buy your next car, and so forth and so forth. So where can you get an asset that will allow you to produce income like this? Well, I'll tell you, you're not going to find it in Wall Street, but there are many other ways. One is buying a rental property, or maybe buying a franchise. If you want help in finding an asset that is going to produce money, cash flow every single month, let us know, and we can help you find the right asset. To make sure that you don't miss one of these Friday where we answer your tax and wealth building questions, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if there's a friend or family member who you think can benefit from watching some of these videos, please share it. And as always, I want you to make it a fantastic weekend.